Oh my God, your poor dad.
Hi guys, welcome back to Your Poor Dad. This week is a little different, obviously. Jade is not in Austin, so we have to record via Zoom.
They kicked me out of the state.
Yeah,
Finally,
we did.
Yeah.
enough room in this town for the both of us.
For all three of us.
For the thrice of us.
No, but we know we're late getting you guys an episode. Sorry, one of us. Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna just like completely lay the blame, but you know what? That's fine. Let's go ahead and like put the blame on you. She just lives a really busy life, you know. She's just a girl on the go, and we're doing what we can.
I'm a GOTG. It's like, here's the thing. This is not our full-time job. Shockingly.
Yeah.
I know it looks like it may be our full-time job because we're so good at it, but it's not.
Yeah. It's definitely not. But now that we're all recording on the Zoom, we're all here. There's something that I need to bring to your attention. Guys, this is live. This is the first time.
I'm really nervous. A Paige scares me.
Jade is afraid of me. So a couple things. You know, the main thing I want to talk about today, or not to the whole day, but like right now, you're a flake.
I'm a flake.
You're a flake.
I'm a frosted flake.
You are the frostiest flake there ever was. Let me tell you why. Do you remember that we had plans on Friday and you were supposed to call me back to give me an update on the whole Sammy Hagar situation? Guess what? You never called me back. And guess what else?
What?
I knew you were not gonna call me back. That's why I wasn't holding my breath. That's why I literally, as soon, for everybody who's listening, what you guys don't know is last week was the last week of South by Southwest.
Yes.
And Sammy Hagar and the Circle were playing at one of the free shows. And Jade and I had planned
We're Van Hagar girlies.
Well, are we?
Okay, I can keep going.
Okay, so we had these plans to meet up on Friday so we can go listen to Sammy. And I called Jade at 4:30. Yeah, so I called Jade at like 4:30. And as soon as I saw that she was with her friends from college, because they were in town, I just knew that she was going to blow me off.
Yes.
But I didn't say anything. And then you were like, oh, like, I'm thinking I'm gonna go to dinner and then I'll meet you there. Oh, what time is it again? As soon as you said, what time is it again? You are the one who sent me the information. So I was like, this bitch is trying to play dumb. And that was another reason I knew that you were gonna blow me off.
Okay.
And then you were like, okay, I'm gonna call you back in 30 minutes so we can like hash out the details and decide if we're gonna go or not.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, cool. And then I sat down on the couch, set a little timer, and guess what? Set a timer. Guess when you called me? For how long?
Never.
You called me Sunday morning at like 7:45 that I missed that call, called you back at like 8:05, and you needed a favor.
Okay. I know. I was really in this like selfish cyclone that I created for myself. And I'm sorry. Honestly, I was drunk.
Apologize. Look at me when you apologize.
I can't. You scare me. This is live action of me being like such a Libra. Like I fucking hate confrontation, but I know I was wrong. And I'm really sorry that I blew you off. I got wrapped up with my college friends and the day got away from me and I wasn't expecting it to.
And I accept your apology because you're my sister.
Dude, I can't imagine being your friend. Like,
no, well, we're gonna get to that in a second. I just want to say that like you it just couldn't have worked out like more perfectly. Like
The I'm a flake?
No, at like 3:45 maybe. Mom and dad FaceTimed me that day on Friday, and they're like, talking to me about something. And then they're like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, actually, Jade and I are gonna go see
Oh
some
my
theater
God.
tonight." And like, so excited. Like, I'm about to leave and like go for a little run, and then I'm gonna like come home and get ready, blah blah blah, whatever. And dad is psyched. Dad's like, "You know what? I think I already sent you the set list because I'm sure he's gonna have the same set list from when like I saw him a couple months ago. But like I can send you the set list again if you want to, like, while you're on your jog, you can just be listening and like preparing." And I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure I remember you sent the set list. Like, we're fine." And then I don't talk to mom and dad again until Saturday or Sunday. And dad's like, "Hey, how is Sammy?" And I was like, "I didn't go." And he was like, "Why not?" And I said, "Because Jade's a flake." And he was like, "She is?" And I was like, "Yeah, she is." He was like, "I didn't know that about her."
Dad
like,
said that?
Yeah. And I said,
Okay.
"Yeah,
I like that you're surprised.
I'm giving you the Girl Scout honor. I won't do that again. I'm gonna blame it on selfish cyclone Jade. I was in a vacuum of my own selfish needs. And I'm owning that 100%. And I was not thinking of anyone else but myself. And to be honest, I was a bad person that day because I also left Ashley at my house while she was like literally puking all day. She had like food poisoning. And I was like, I'm going to see my Purdue friends.
Well, did you have fun with your Purdue friends?
Yeah, I love seeing them. I used to like hook up with this guy in college, like I guess it was dating, whatever. And he was the worst ever. And so it was all of his friends were there. So they just like love egging me on. And so they're like, "Let's send him pictures." So I just kept texting him pictures of like me with like all of our friends. And he never responded, obviously. But so it was good to reminisce about those times.
Speaking of reminiscing, so Thursday night, South by Southwest, Bailey and I go to like a late night comedy show.
Uh-huh.
And lo and behold, it's just Bailey and I. We're so excited because I really like this comedian. And one of my ex-boyfriends walks in the little door. And you know what? It's only funny because I don't know what we're gonna call this one, but you know him. And
Selena.
Okay.
And
That's too good of a name for him.
okay,
Well,
that's
we'll workshop it.
yeah.
Wait.
We'll call him Diego. Right?
All the Spanish names that's what I'm picking up here, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can say it like while we workshop a name, and then you can just cut that.
You can
part.
cut it if you're.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Diego. So
Selena.
Diego walks in, which is just so awkward because like he hates me. Like I don't hate him.
What?
He hates me.
But didn't he break up with you?
Okay, yeah, but like I truly don't really understand like where this hatred like comes from. And it might be because like when we broke up, we would always run into each other in Austin. Like we would always be at the same bars. And at first we're like obligated to say hi. And then it went to like a nod. And now it's just like we barely acknowledge each other's presence kind of thing. Except for the fact that this same person, when Bailey and I went to the Luke Combs concert, and Bailey, I'm there, my boyfriend who broke up with me, he bought me the tickets. We were supposed to go together. Mm-hmm. He breaks up with me, gives me the tickets. I bring Bailey. We're like on the floor and really close to the stage. Bailey somehow gets lost going to the bathroom and comes back with 2 backstage passes for like after the concert.
How do you get lost? Exactly.
So anyways, whenever we go there, this other ex-boyfriend of mine, Diego, is there, and he's like trying to use like me as a reason to stay back there. And I'm like, no, sir, move along. Anyways, that's not the point. So it's like, I just feel like as soon as I saw him at this comedy show, I'm like, if he sees me, I'm gonna ruin his night just with my presence. Like, I don't give one tiny rat's ass that he's here, but like, I know for a fact that he fucking cares that I'm there. So I'm like trying to just like not be seen, like
I also wonder if he did, because she said that she saw him and she was like, and he's with that other mutual friend that we know. Like, I was like, oh, okay, so like I know who we're looking for, but I like didn't see him. I'm like, all right, like I guess she knows what's going on. And we're like walking to the bathroom, and Paige like takes a hard right and like turns like super fast down the hallway. And I was like, guess you really had to go. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I still didn't see him until we're in the place. And I was like, okay, so I guess he's like.
And you guys didn't acknowledge each other?
never once, like, I could not have run into him as many times as, but like, it was a fucking comedy show. Like literally, it was tiny. There was maybe.
Where was it?
It was at Armadillo Den, but the upstairs, which I hadn't been there yet. So it's like above the bar. Yeah, above the bar, there's another bar and like a room. So it's like a really small, I know they do yoga there sometimes, but like it's like a really small, really intimate, like little spot. Anyways, that was wild. I'm just like, this poor guy cannot.
That is very small. Also, maybe one day if we ever like get a Patreon, we should tell them about that other time with me at the Armadillo Den, but that is not for public.
Oh my God.
That was awful. That literally, like, if I could like unzip my skin suit and just like walk out of there and
I
like,
know about this.
Yeah, I still tell people about that day because like I truly, that was an experience for all of us.
yeah.
For all two of us.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that. And I'm sorry I'm a bad sister. I'll work on being, so I decided this weekend that I'm going to work on like myself this year more. And I'm going to be a better person. So you guys won't have to worry about selfish cyclone Jade.
Well, interested to know how that journey goes for you.
Okay. And are you not done calling me out?
Well, I was just gonna say kind of adjacent to that because like you said, oh my gosh, like it would be so hard to be your friend, you know,
Yeah.
right? And you just completely, here's the thing, like, it's not that you were avoiding me, like you forgot about me, okay? And I do think that that's because like, I am your sister, so you hold me at a lower tier of like.
No.
I mean, do you get what I'm saying though? It's like.
I don't hold you at a lower tier.
Well,
I guess I just take for granted. I take for granted the relationship because like I know you guys will always be there, but it's not a low, it's the highest tier, but I tend to, you know, do that.
I heard someone say for like really close relationships, like with like partners, I would say for sisters too, like they get to see like your top 10%, but also your like bottom 10% too, because like I'm gonna do whatever it takes, but also you're gonna see the lowest of
Okay.
because it's like a safe place to be.
Yeah.
That's so true. And so there was something that happened with like Bailey this week and like whatever, but like I want to talk about how each of us do handle like arguments or like not even arguments, but like conflicts with friends, like with our
Oh,
because I think that would be really interesting to hear like the way you handle conflicts versus Bailey versus me, because I feel like that would be really different than like how we handle them with each other as sisters.
yes, for sure.
I know, well, I'm very avoidant. I'm very much like, I can't stand if I did something wrong. And it's like, then I get really weird and defensive and like, but this is the reason. I like build like this whole case in my head and I'll like, no. And then I just kind of will like go so far into like what I was doing and how I was feeling and stuff. And it's like, well, I'm really gonna need to unpack this. I'll deal with that later once I know what I'm thinking. And then I just like don't, which isn't good. another thing I do that's probably bad is I like to talk to other people about it first to see like how I'm not bad first. You know, like I want to like have some like, because if it's like, oh my God, I did this really bad thing.
How you're bad, how you are not bad or bad. Like if you're, how wrong you are in the situation.
But mostly I want to know that
You want validation, you're not wrong.
well, and I kind of think that I get like really freaked out that like, oh my gosh, this person is upset with me. Like everyone probably hates me. So I kind of want to know that like, I'm going to feel this out first. I'm going to, what?
That's just like a really intense feeling.
Well, like I just need to like make sure that like there's gonna be someone like still like I didn't just ruin the entire universe. You know, like I want to like kind of feel it out and like unpack it first and then go from there.
Paige was like,
should I
Something that I think would be really helpful is
therapy.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Because like that is not what I was expecting to hear.
Yeah, that's like kind of like it's interesting to me, not to go all therapist on you, that you focus more on how you're not wrong instead of how you made that other person feel.
Well, it's because I'm taking like a defensive
And
place first because it's like I think that I was okay in like making this choice, but like I bet no one else is gonna agree with that. You know, to where it's like I want before I can like
you're only seeking validation for yourself.
Absolutely.
Instead of figuring out why you did the thing wrong and like how you can make it up to that person.
Or like why it's okay that you did this thing, but next time you can like do some like handle it a little differently.
So it's almost like you couldn't possibly have reacted the way you did or done what you did if it wasn't the right thing or whatever. So you need that validation that like what you did was right. What's weird to me is that's
not what I'm saying. I'm saying like I know why I did this thing, but like other people wouldn't have done this, or people aren't going to agree with like why I did it. You know, like it's not that like I think that I only do bad things or I think that I only do right things. I just like want there to be like, okay, no, like I understand why you did this and I can accept feedback, but like I just want the understanding first too.
Yeah, it's just weird that the first thing you said was that like the reason you seek that is because like if you don't get that, then you think that like you're ruining the universe, like everything else is like bad, and that's like a little
not the universe, just like my relationships was like
a little like
which is like, I mean, not to get too deep on here, but why you can't handle criticism at all.
Yeah.
I think I handle criticism the best, and I do have to put all of that on our poor mom because nails on a chalkboard, you know, like and I'm practicing a song that my like voice teacher's like, okay, like practice the song until you get it perfect, and I'm singing it for my mom and I'm like, hey, how does this sound? It sounds good, but that one note sounds like, I don't know how to say it, nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. Well, you also put yourself
that
you had a hobby that is very like easy to criticize, you know, like in cheerleading and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you just got to work harder, but like music is such a different thing. So you are just getting criticized all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why
you handle criticism.
I have the thickest skin, I would say.
Yeah, I would say I have like partially thick skin. I have like the second thickest.
I do agree with that. I think that you have really thick skin in like certain aspects and like really thin skin in other aspects, which is so crazy to me. Like just your little like TikTok trolls, like they piss me off so much, and like they literally just like water running off your back. Like you could not care about these little trolls, and I'm like, can you believe what they said about Jade? Like I am like so offended, and you're like, I don't care.
Actually, for Jade's birthday, I made a TikTok that was a fake name.
I forgot about that.
And so I would
You were my troll.
I trolled Jade. I wasn't like feeding the trolls, but I would like say something that wasn't like, you are prejudiced against this whole entire group of people. I was like,
you were like obnoxious.
We walked the line.
No, but you were also like oblivious. You were oblivious about it. Like she would say something like, going to the park with my dog is like my favorite part of the day, and you'd be like, no, it's not. Like
no one cares.
No one cares about you. Like it was just so oblivious.
Like I was getting so much hate at one point that like that was just like I was like, oh, that girl always hates on me. Like I don't care.
That was really funny.
The only time I did care is when people were starting to call me like an ableist, and that I was like against a community that like I wasn't against. And that's like a very dangerous thing to say, because like I didn't want to be known as the girl on the internet that was this. And like I called my job and I was like, look, this is happening on TikTok. I know I'm like 33, but like, please don't fire me in case because you hear people like sending stuff to their employers and stuff. So I just wanted to be like the first one to like, hey.
Well, maybe we can also get into that on a Patreon, because there's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think for you.
Oh, me?
You
okay.
are like the one that holds, I think with friend conflict, you have like more boundaries with people, and like you're very like comfortable with like confronting a situation in hopes of a resolution.
Well, and so like very recently, one of my best friends, she invited me out one night, like she's already out, and she's like, okay, like come meet us here after dinner or whatever. And she gave me like a rough timeline. So I'm like, okay. And for probably like 1 to 2 hours, I'm like, are you sure? Because it was supposed to be this like double date thing. And then the second couple's like kind of like taking a long time. So she's like, you should just come meet us out, whatever. So it was like this already like kind of weird situation. And I'm like, okay, like, should I get ready? Like, I don't know. And she's like, okay, definitely, like, regardless, if we end up going to dinner with this other couple, like you should still come no matter what. I'm like, okay, cool. So I start getting ready, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, just let me know like when and where I should go. And she was like, perfect. And then I don't hear from her the rest of the night, right? And so normally I would be upset because like the main reason honestly being because I took the time to get ready, right? Yeah. Like that's like the main thing. And because I was already, before she had like convinced me to go out, I was already planning on staying home. So it wasn't like, if I would have had like a different feeling, if I would have had a feeling like I need to go out tonight, like let me find a group to go out with, and then this happened, like I would probably be more upset. But like, because I was like fine with staying home already, then I'm like, okay, I knew that she was like doing her plans, because like I know that those people probably showed up, and she forgot to, like, once they showed up, she forgot to text me. You know what I mean?
But you didn't text her?
Not that night. And so, which is the same with you, right? So it's like, I knew that you forgot about me, just like she had forgotten about me or whatever, but like, I wasn't going to text you, because me texting you like on Friday being like, hey, like, what the fuck, are we going to go to Sammy? Like that would immediately, like, you would remember that you had forgotten about me, and like, remember like, oh shit, like I was supposed to like call Paige, and then you would have like
why wouldn't you just do it?
Because like, I knew that you were with your friends from college that you hadn't seen in a while. And like, if you didn't remember to call me, then like, I didn't want to ruin your night. You know what I mean? Like I was fine doing my thing, and I knew you were like having fun. Same thing with her. Like I knew, like I hung out with Bailey. We like karaoke'd all night, like at our house. Like it was like totally fine. Like I was not like sitting at home sad because I didn't go out. But what I love about this friendship is the next day, before any other text like happened, the first thing she texted me, and she was like, I am so sorry about last night. Like, I feel like such an asshole. Like that was like really all I needed, because it would have been awkward if it was never addressed, because then I'd have to be like, hey, then I would address
I
it.
didn't like that happened.
Because then I have to be like, hey, you completely blew me off last night. Like, I'd have to do
That's like a very like, that's like a conflict that is with a resolution. Like, you didn't really have to do anything there.
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything.
I want to know about the conflict. It's like when someone fucks you over, how you deal with it before, if they don't.
I can say one that I didn't deal with and someone else dealt with it for me.
No, that doesn't show how you deal with conflict.
The point is, I don't deal with conflict.
Well, that's all you need to know.
All right then. Well, how do you deal with conflict, Mr. Libra?
I deal with conflict in a way where it's like, I don't really deal with it, but like, it's different than Bailey. Like, if I'm wrong, like, I do like to talk it out with people, but not in a way where it's like, I'm not wrong, but in a way where it's like, it's going to be okay. I just need like a little bit of like courage to confront the situation, you know?
You have to like the person, anyone who's like not involved first, or like the person involved?
Oh, I talk to like maybe you guys. So like people who aren't involved. And I just say like, I just need to like let the steam out. Like, so I don't like react out of anger with anyone, which I don't, with my friends, I never really react out of anger. And like I've said this before, but I don't fight with people, they fight with me. Like, and then I just feel like I never confront people. I rarely confront people when they piss me off, unless it's like a guy. But like my friends don't really do things to piss me off that much.
Well, and so like my friends don't either. And
Yeah.
But like when I am, again, I'm very good with boundaries. So like I've said before, like when someone crossed my boundary, I directly, in that exact moment that they said something, I said, we don't talk about that. We don't do that. And I addressed it immediately. And then I also removed myself, because I also know myself very well.
Yeah. She's not your friend though.
She's not my friend, but still,
this is why.
but she's someone that's really important to like my friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's like, I need to conduct myself in a manner that like I'm not going to regret.
Well, it was good for all people. You said a very clear thing, and then you're like, and that's all I'm going to say right now.
You know, then I separate. So it's like, I feel like that's something that I'm really good at, is like directly being like, no, I don't know, we're not doing that, or like, I don't like it, like whatever. And then hopefully continuing the conversation without getting too heated.
Yeah.
I've done a good job about doing that lately.
I also weigh like, okay, is this something that like is just me being annoyed with that person? If so, I need to work that out with myself. Because unless the person is like repeatedly like doing something to harm me, but if they're just like doing something that's annoying, like saying something that bugs me or talking about the same guy over and over and over and over again, like I'm just like, I kind of weigh that against if you're actually doing something that's like, I don't
like. Such a good example. I was at a place where I didn't know, it was a lot of people that like I just met, right? And this one person that was in the group was like really like not only annoying me, but she was like trying to annoy me. And like I knew she was like, I could tell she was trying to annoy me, you know? And I'm like feeling that pull of like, just, I'm gonna,
the anger monkeys are on your back.
Like, I'm gonna get her. But the overall feeling was like, this is not the time, that is not worth it. So like, if this persists, I can pull her aside later. But like, luckily she stopped. So it was like, nothing needed to like happen.
Yeah.
But just like, I am good at reading the situation of like, is this worth it, or is it not? And sometimes it's not, and you just have to like literally like I cannot bite my tongue. I literally have to swallow my tongue and just like
Also, I will say, like, if somebody does something to me where it's like, okay, if it's one of my really good friends and it just bothers me, but it's like something that needs to be addressed, like, okay, we'll address it. But if somebody is in my vicinity and then they're a friend and I see a huge character flaw that it's like, for me to like, they cannot change this. This is just who they are. Like in my mind, I have like tiers of my friends, like of trust, you know, and I just like move them down to the low trusting tier. And like, I don't know if this is like healthy or not, but I just kind of slowly distance myself, but like not in a negative way, just like, oh, okay, like in a mental capacity way. Like I don't let them take up any more of my space, you know, like I don't hold them to the same standards, which I know a lot of my friends will do that. They're like, hold everyone to the same standard. And I'm like, I just don't, that's not me.
Well, that's what I would do. And I guess still do, which is why like in high school and the girls that were like not very kind, it's like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna be friends with those people. It was very easy to just be like, I'm not gonna like figure out what all is going there. Like that was very unkind.
Yeah, but you stop hanging out with them. I would continue to hang out.
Well, what I'm gonna say now that I've learned is like I can have like the peripheral friends where it's like I don't need to be like, oh wow, I really don't like that thing about this person. She always does this. It's like you kind of go into it knowing what that person's gonna be like. And then now I can just like let that like roll off my back where it's like, oh yeah. Sometimes they say unkind things about like the wait staff or something. And I would not be close friends with that person, but like I kind of accept what it's gonna be like going into here. Not gonna be close, but like this is
okay. Unkind to the wait staff though, I'd be like, stop, don't do that.
It's like more like
I would not, that's a reflection of me. If you're
not being unkind to the wait staff, being unkind about the wait staff, where it's like as soon as they walk away, they're just like it's exactly sitting at like the Mean Girls table, where it's like
oh, like their job's that hard.
Whenever exactly, where it's just like
I know
it's exactly that where I'm just like, huh, where it's like, and then you like turn around with like a smile and it's like fine, and it's
and
like
you're like, how about you go in the kitchen and you grab all of our food?
She would never. But you know, it's like I could get mad, but this person is never going to be different, and I'm gonna see them ever so often. So it's like we're gonna roll with it, you know.
Well, and so I think what's interesting with the biggest difference I'm noticing between like me and you guys is that like with my friends and like you guys are my sisters. You guys are forever, right? So it's like as much as like, yeah, I'm still gonna call you out for like flaking on me, but like my feelings aren't hurt by it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not like upset with you. I'm not like mad, but it's like, oh yeah, like I'm still gonna call you out because you still need to be held accountable. You know what I mean? So like, but like my feelings aren't hurt because you are a constant in my life, you know, like something like that. But like also with my friendships, it's like if I had flaky friends that like, if I had like flaky friends who were like, let's do that, I'm gonna call you, and then I didn't, or like we're constantly like just like being not good to me, then like then you're like you guys saying, oh, I just hold them at a different tier or whatever. I'm just like, then you're not really a friend. Like, then I cannot hold space for that kind of behavior. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't hold space for them. I just like they're like my party friends.
Where it's like you can either be mad that this person's hanging out in the group that you're in, or you can be like, nah, just how they are. You know, like it's gotta be accepting.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably have dealt well. I have probably like the biggest group of friends.
Yeah.
And so I deal with a lot of personalities. And what I'm also good at is like letting the star be the star and just be like let them have their moment. you know?
Well, that's a totally different thing.
Well, yeah.
It's only like awkward whenever like the star is like making a fool of themselves, and then you're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, you go, girl."
Yeah. Cause I think like I know in my heart of hearts, I'm the real star. So I'm like, you go.
That's why
I
the
know
biggest
you
star
think
doesn't
that.
always have to shine the brightest, you know?
Yeah. My star
Sun
just,
isn't even the biggest star, it's just the closest.
yeah.
Jade, do you know how far the sun is from the earth?
One time I was like, it's 1,379 miles.
How do you not know? Okay, first of all, one of my best friends, I will not name her because Bailey and I laugh about this to this day. Bailey and I
Bless
know
her.
because we went to Cullen Elementary, like they taught us a song. The thing I love about Cullen is like I remember so many things through song. Like they taught us in song form, which is why it still sticks. So because I like knew this answer, I texted my friends, I was like, hey, quiz, like, does anyone know how far away the sun is? Her response, 3 miles. And I was like,
You could run 3 miles.
Exactly.
I was like, are you kidding me? She was like, do you know how far a mile is? I was like, do you? Like, are you kidding me?
5,800
Mile.
But
Does she not even know how planes, like how,
yeah, they said you're flying at like 10,000 feet or whatever.
no,
right?
30,000.
Like 30,000
30,000
feet.
3 times.
But I think that just didn't like register. So anyways, the answer is 93 million miles away.
Oh yeah, I didn't learn that. Or maybe I did, it just.
It's an amazing phenomenon. Of
Um,
course, we're talking about the sun.
Are we done talking about how flaky I am and our friends?
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to read a text, speaking of planes, that our dad just sent us.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Drama queen.
The biggest drama queen ever. He said, heading to LA, remember, I love you all equally, in all caps. Remember me in the best way if my flight crashes. Don't embarrass me too bad. Make it funny. Lovies.
Okay. No, that's not even the best one because let's go to yesterday. We're in Texas and we had some well, most of us besides Jade are in Texas. We had some tornadoes and my dad sends us a video of him outside while the tornado sirens are going off. First of all, every male ever, like that is just every
male.
And he says, hey girls, if we die tonight, we just wanted you to know that we really, really love you very much. Obviously, you're never going to know who the favorite was if for some reason we get blown away.
No, can I tell you guys last year, when there was tornadoes going on at the house, and this was like in, I want to say May. So I was like at about my like wit's end at living with mom and dad. This was like the last month I was going to live with them.
Why? Because it's so hard to live with them rent free.
It's just like, it's not hard to live with them rent free, but like at what cost? Like my privacy, what?
At what cost? 0. That's the cost.
No, at the cost of my mental health. And living in Keller. Okay, you guys go live in Keller for 10 months and tell me you don't come out like a little like crazed. It's not ideal, but anyways, I was living with them and like, of course, they're like, the tornadoes coming straight for Keller. It's like the cross streets. They're like, it looks like it's going to hit at basically where our parents live. And I was just like, immediately, I was making dinner with mom and I just like felt this like deep, like pit of anxiety. And like, it was like fight or flight. And I like almost started throwing up because I was so scared. And I'm like, okay, let's get down. And then mom's like, okay, like, let's just give it a second. And they're like, yep, coming straight towards you guys, like on the radar. And I was just like, oh my God, why? So then I'm like in the shower downstairs with Hank, and Hank's like, Hank would move and I'd be like, no, don't. Like, you know how I get in that situation. I'm like, everyone needs to be in protection. So dad is literally has the sliding glass door open. And he's like, oh my God, you guys come look at this thing. Look at it. Oh my God, it's coming right for us. It is like a wall. This thing is huge.
Oh my, he's scared.
I know. He was in the shower with me and he's like, oh my God, it sounds like a freight train. And then, it goes silent before it hits. He's like, oh my God, it's silent. Sandy, you've got to see this. And I'm just like, this is the movie fucking Twister. You need to like wrap a belt around you and strap yourself to the like fence post if you want to be outside like Helen Hunt in the movie. But it literally went through our backyard though. It didn't touch down, but the storm, it was so loud.
Anyways, what else has happened?
I agreed with you that it was too long.
What? Nothing's really happened to me. People are telling me I can't talk about them on the podcast, so I'm not talking about.
Do you have any thoughts on the fact that Kylie Jenner just decided that her child's name is not Wolf anymore?
I would totally do that. I think that is like so something I would do. Like I'd be like, you know what? No.
But would you announce it first?
Yes.
Oh. All right, double the buzz. Okay.
Yeah, I would totally do that. You guys wouldn't?
Do you think that she did that just to see if Wolf is now going to be on like the top baby names of like 2022, and then she's like, oh, actually I changed his name, and then everyone's like, fuck, I just named my
No, I think it's like she made a really hasty decision, and I think she got to know the baby, and I bet the baby is like a different vibe than Wolf, and they had like a different vibe name that they were like, no, this
Like a lamb.
Yeah, like Lammy, but they can't call him Lammy because Lamar. I'm gonna name my first son Hank.
You can't.
You already did.
No, I'm gonna name a child Hank.
Oh, actually, Pete and Pete.
Hank and Hank. I mean, Hank might not be alive to see my first child at this point.
All right.
How dare you? What are you gonna do to Hank?
I mean, it's not what I'm gonna do to Hank. It's like, am I ever gonna have a child?
Okay, well, Hank's gonna live forever, so I don't know like what.
Oh yeah, he's eternal.
Speaking of living forever, Paige and I got really into a show this week.
Bad Vegan.
Life After Death
Oh.
with Tyler Henry.
You need to watch it.
Can we talk? We need to tell the listeners, all of the listeners, that you guys literally have the most peculiar taste in television out of any Gen Z and millennial I know. Like you could go to a home and you would be fine. Like, and I mean a home, like a geriatric home, and you guys would be like, oh, this is what I watch.
Just counting down the days till they'll accept me into my nursery home.
You got the Game Show Network? Okay.
Like they watch the Game Show Network, they watch Seventh Heaven.
We
Not
finished.
anymore. Not recently.
not
sorry.
recent.
Like what adult like watches Seventh Heaven?
Let me tell you what adult.
She had COVID.
Adults with anxiety don't like brand new shows. Look, like I know that I loved Seventh Heaven. I want to rewatch it. It's a comfort show. Okay.
Yeah.
Same reason why I'm watching One Tree Hill. I didn't watch it previously. However, I know that it aired a long time ago. Positive reviews from a lot of people. So I can binge it. There's nothing I'm waiting for. I won't.
Yeah. I have comfort shows too, but mine are like shows that I've already watched. But I watch like The Housewives over and over and over again. It's like therapy. I've watched like each Housewife franchise like a million times.
Yeah.
I can never get tired.
And some would say that your
No.
TV shows are a little peculiar.
Some would say I have excellent taste in TV shows.
Ours are peculiar in that we could have said any show and it'd be like that trash.
Okay,
but
but
if Jade said she was watching something, we'd be like, no, you're not. You're literally only watching Housewives. Maybe like Southern Charm. Maybe
I just watch Bravo and then maybe like whatever's hot on TV right now. Like, but I don't watch that much TV. Like I really don't. As much as people, and I'm not bragging about it, but like, I find myself being like, whenever I put on, like, I've just put on Bad Vegan and I was like scrolling TikTok and I'm like, this is why I don't watch TV.
Do you like it?
It was good. It was just like really weird. And it felt like the main girl was such a dumb bitch that I was like, how did you get yourself into this situation? Like you had all the talent. You had like, if you could have just took the fork in the road that would go the right way, like you would have like a very nice life. Like she had this really amazing world-renowned restaurant that like they wanted to do. And then also a complimentary brand that was like, and it was all raw, vegan, whatever. And it was like in the time where this stuff was just popping off. So they were like, oh, we want to do one in, I think it was like Japan and LA and like all over the world. And this dumb bitch goes and gets herself in a situation with a man, of course, because men always fucking ruin things, and just completely bulldozes the whole brand.
Well, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
You should watch it. She's gorgeous. She is beautiful to look at. And the whole time you're just like, oh, I kind of like you until you don't.
I am interested by that. I also am just gonna highly recommend that you, when you're going to bed or something, I don't know, put on the Life After Death show, because like
Tyler Henry.
Yes. And it's like the new one. First of all, it's
I
not,
don't think it's a going to bed show.
it's not just,
You're gonna have to sell me on this a little more, because I have absolutely zero.
listen how crazy this is. It's not just his abilities to like connect with the afterlife or whatever. Like it's not just his readings that he does. He found out that there's some family like drama going on. Like his mom did a 23andMe like kind of test, finds out some things. You find out that the family she's raised with, the mother that raised her,
the
is
mom
like,
and the dad are not her birth parents, and so she's like,
but,
who are all these
but
people?
the people that raised them are convicted felons that were in prison forever, and like, and then she finds out that wasn't even my like real mom. It's this crazy thing.
It's not a good before bed story or before bed story.
It is.
No, I mean maybe like weirdest to emotional.
I mean, like
but
also like I cried a lot in each episode, but that I also like crying before I go to bed. So.
Oh. But I do have a question. Paige and I were talking about this when we were watching it. So like when you're like getting a reading done, like you bring an object like to like summon whoever you're trying to like channel, you know?
Yeah.
So Paige and I were talking about like what we would bring for the other one. And I kind of wonder what you would bring for either one of us, or like what you would like want us. Well, I already have an answer for what I would bring for you. We haven't talked about what we bring for you.
What's something that you think
like
if
an
we
object
brought
you're
for
like
you,
connected to?
Yeah, if we brought for you that you would, you know, come to this reading, or that an object you would bring of ours to make us come to the reading.
And then let's do mom and dad too.
Ooh, and then let's do mom and dad.
I already have an answer for Jade. An object that we would bring should Jade pass. Knock on drywall.
What would it be?
Probably Gigi's blue ring.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one because it's.
I would bring that to Gigi, but that's only because that's like the only thing I have of hers, because that dumb fucker took.
No, I'm saying if you died, I would bring that.
Well,
Yeah.
that would be a good 2-for-1.
A two with Gigi and I show up.
You would imagine?
Good
Oh
God.
my God. We are gonna be like skipping, holding hands in the afterlife together.
And you guys would just be like, I could only imagine Tyler Henry. Like he would be like, they are like, there's too much energy going on over here.
Know what they're saying, but I think they're pretty happy together.
And we'd be like, oh no, yep. They'd be like, pork rinds. Yep, that makes sense. All right, we got
I'm
it.
smelling pork rinds and Dr. Pepper. Oh yeah, that's Gigi.
Yep, there they are.
I wonder what I would bring for you guys. Maybe like a guitar for Paige.
I don't know what I would bring for you.
I know. I'm really, you guys really put me on the spot here with Bailey. I don't know.
Because it's interesting to think about, like, because what's really funny about what I told Bailey, I was like, okay, well, obviously I would grab everything that I could hold, right? So that there was like more of a chance. But I was like, there's this one sweatshirt that you have that I just think of you, and it's like
Or Bailey.
Bailey, and it's like this like kind of like off-white sweatshirt with this like sequin like what's it like the skull like the calavera, whatever.
Calavera.
Like, and Bailey was like, oh, I just cut that sweatshirt up. And I was like,
which I think that's why I think you don't remember seeing it, because I was literally doing it in the kitchen. It's been a while since I've worn it, but I took off the skull and I sewed it onto a jacket. So it's still alive.
But it's like
Gigi bought me that sweater, which is why I couldn't just throw all of it away.
But it's like the Mexican like
it's the sugar skulls.
Which I do pick like see Bailey in those, you know, because she can
Especially
speak
if I'm
Espanol,
dead,
you know what I mean?
like a skull myself.
And then I'm like, oh, I'd probably bring that sweatshirt. She's like, yeah, I just like cut it up. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I got nothing. I don't know. And I don't know like what you guys would bring for me that I would be like, this is my object.
Well, yeah, which is great we're talking
Maybe
about it
my
because I
Paige
pitched the
necklace.
idea that we should they're probably be buried in that if you want to be buried.
Buried in it.
I don't know. Why not?
I
It's her
don't
name.
think I need to be buried in any
She
way.
needs a name tag.
I would not want to be buried in my jewelry because I'd want everyone to like live on.
Yeah, I want everyone to wear my jewelry.
Yeah,
Want me to wear a necklace that says Paige?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. I would wear it.
I would. And people would be like, oh, is your name Paige? I'd be like, no, that's my dad's sister.
And that's a conversation starter. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Conversation ender. Hey, nice to meet you. No, it's my dad's sister. Bye.
It's my dad's sister. But thanks for bringing it up.
I was saying that we should like, you know, in Harry Potter is the Horcruxes. Like we should start putting pieces of ourselves like into like weird objects towards like I don't know what we would do, but you know.
What would you bring for mom and dad?
Dad, I would bring like
Let's do mom first because that's easier.
Dad, I would bring like a Bears hat.
A Bears anything.
Anything, yeah. Or like a shirt he's had forever. So like basically everything he owns.
True.
Yeah.
And mom, I'd probably bring one of like her like fur coats or whatever that Gigi gave her, or or her wedding ring.
Oh, the wedding ring's a good one.
When are you coming back to Austin?
I leave tomorrow, but here's the thing about Tucson. It's really not easy getting in and out of here, which you would think it would be. It's 2022. So I have to fly to Denver, fucking kill me. And I have a 4-hour layover in Denver.
What are you going to do in Denver?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm just kidding. I really honestly like Denver for me is just like bad vibe city. Like I just cannot tell you like every time I go into Denver, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm going to love Denver. And then I end up fucking just having the weirdest time ever. Paige and I went to Denver once and it was just like, it was a good time, but like weird shit happened. We went to Denver once. It's just like every time I'm there,
weird times.
Weird times in Denver.
And it's a weird airport.
The airport is weird as shit.
Airport, haunted, conspiracies, but it's a pretty good one. Like you can drink and get some food. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching another episode of Your Poor Dad. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, whatever. Do all of the things.
Apple.
And what we did not talk about this week at all, which we need to do better about, is hashtag get our poor dad to Soldier Field.
Yes, if we don't get followers and listeners, we're never going to get the Bears to get our poor dad to Soldier.
And one of the hot players that was on the Bears last season just got signed to the Raiders. So it's like we need to.
What does that have anything to do?
Bodies on the Bears, you know?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or like,
right.
Well,
that's my cue. I gotta go.